Guys, welcome back. So last episode we took over Bohemia, and now Greater Moravia is awesome. It appears to have turned into Great Moravia, and I agree it is. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're going to, no, that's the other thing. We are going to disband all of our troops, because we don't, you see, I'm in a lot of debt right now. We want to fix that, so let's get another perk real quick, which will help us with buildings, which I do not have the money for right now. So we'll do that later. In fact, let's ask for some gold. That's one of the big benefits of having a pope in this game. You can always ask for gold if the pope doesn't hate you, which sometimes he will. That does happen sometimes. So where's Lubesco? Right there? Well, I can't get the whole thing. I can either get the county or the duchy, and the duchy will cost me more piety, actually twice as much piety, and I don't want to spend that much. So let's, yeah, we've selected the lesser one. Let's raise our armies and go to battle. Let's head over there. Again, I'm going for the capital first, even though, honestly, I should probably go for the place I'm actually trying to take, which is right there, because that will increase over time, but, you know, we'll figure that out later. Another perk. I'm just getting them like it's candy, aren't I? Okay, wherever I go, Dorothea, a commoner from Zemplin, is sure to follow. That look in her eyes, the words on her lips, I know exactly what she's after. Should she become my lover? No, I think I'll stay faithful to my wife. For now, at least. I have a son, I have no need for more heirs right now. A merchant has sent me samples of seeds, plants she claims are good for health and mind. I must admit I have little experience in nurturing plants, but how hard could it be? I'll use these to start a private garden. And I failed, but hey, I got a perk, and that would be, I added a +1 to stats. So I didn't really talk about stats much last episode, so I'm just going to pause the time there. So your stats are pretty much how good you are at these different categories, which is diplomacy, martial, stewardship, intrigue, and learning. So over here at the council, that's where you're going to find uses for this. So your head of religion, whatever religion that may be, that's going to change, but they have to be good at learning. So mine isn't great, but I really can't change it because of Catholicism rules. Then for your chancellor, which is like foreign relations and diplomacy, needs to have high diplomacy. Your marshal, which is military, that needs to have high martial. Your spy master, which is intrigue, that's like plots and stuff, that's also, that needs high intrigue. And then your stewardship is like your money. So, and then you can, this will affect how long it takes them to do things and the outcomes once it's all done. So what I'm doing there, I was converting culture with this one, and then with this one, I was just making sure that people don't hate me. That's pretty much increasing popular opinion, stuff like that, you know. Good. I always can't remember which one is which, so when I see that, you know, that -60, I get worried, but no, mine's at a 0, which is how it normally is. Okay, Alamak Spare. Despite successfully besieging the settlement of Alamak, a fortification protecting swaths of Greater Alamak, Chief Jugostrat has restrained his troops. Resulting looting has been isolated and sporadic. Though your vassal isn't spared, the Brizig eye your personal domains hungrily. Why did I choose a place where I can't pronounce the names instead of, say, England? I don't know, but I did. Okay. So let's go ahead and take over this. Will you please move? Thank you. After I take over this, I will win the territory, because you need it 100%, and occupying their territory fully will do that. Okay, while I was at the market with Pratilla, her attention was caught by a criminal changed in the pillory. Pratilla watched him for a while. While he did nothing but cough and beg for water, Pratilla rolled her eyes and kept on walking. Pratilla, bring him water. Be nicer. Okay, with the fall of the settlement of Opava, the chieftain, much of Greater Opava has been left bare to rampaging Brizig looters. As there are few local fortresses of size left to oppose them, the raiders have carried off every precious item and scrap of silver they can find. Okay, well, let's rebuild. It's gonna cost me a lot of money, but there is never a quiet moment. My son and heir Charles is so full of questions. I do my best to encourage his curiosity, but sometimes I cannot help but get exhausted by the constant stream of thoughts and theories. So he's gained the trait curious, and I think it is time for me to find him a spouse. He's 3 years old, so pretty much anyone younger than him or the same age as him will be good. I don't really want to pick someone older than him, because that isn't very good. Oh, okay, I didn't mean to click on you. That's okay, I can go back. See, they'd be inbred, and while I will almost certainly end up marrying someone related to me later, not right now. I have plenty of options right now, so we're gonna try to find someone with a good trait. I think I spoke briefly about traits, but let's go with you, because you are of a decent rank, so my renown, then something up here, will be fine. So now I've arranged a marriage for my heir, and it's time to go back to the siege. Let's increase the time so that the siege will progress a little faster, and great, I've got an alliance with them, because now my son is betrothed to them. So you have betrothed, you are not betrothed. Let's see. Sure, this Croatian dude. I don't really care after my heir is betrothed, and so I'm just looking for the best person for all of them. Like you. Sure, I don't care. Especially for the women, because it doesn't really matter how old the guy is. And yep, I'm just getting a bunch of alliances here. By the way, I have won the war, so I'm just gonna go ahead and quickly enforce that. And woohoo, that's more land. I'm just gonna disband those troops real quick, because, again, the money, now I can maybe actually get some money. Let's go ahead. So, Greater Moravia is looking pretty good these days, all things considered. Okay, that's just my Chancellor being good. Honestly, he's average, but we will take anything we can get. I know I should feudalize my tribal holdings. Thank you for telling me, okay? But I don't have the money to do that. I am kind of in debt. If I can unlock a perk, that's great. Let's go ahead and get it. Okay. While I was in the castle with Bertilla, her attention was caught by a criminal chained in the pillory. Bertilla lifted her head and made a show of ignoring the criminals begging for water. Didn't we just go through this? I feel like we just went through this with Bertilla, and I selected that she should give him water and be nice, and she has apparently ignored him again. Good for you! Okay, Ermentrude has been asking me for a toy boat for a long time, and I told her I would get one for her in 3 months if she displayed more focus in her studies. Ever since I made the promise, she's been redoubling the effort of her studies. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna keep that promise. She can be trusting. That's good. I think that's noble. That's very honorable of her. Where else can I declare war? Because I must expand my borders as much as possible. Can I declare a war on you? Probably not, just looking at the levies. You, no, you, maybe, but you're already at war, and you've won, so you're probably getting a lot more. Okay. Moved by my tribulations, Dukes Flatapluck that's a weird name, has offered me his counsel and aid on many occasions, hoping to alleviate the burden of my duties. However, Flatapluck's attentions have incurred the ire of Mayor Yaromil. Flatapluck cannot be trusted. This is merely a ploy to exploit you, my liege. Okay, so I can trust Dukes Flatapluck. I can try and find common ground. I can not trust Flatapluck and follow the advice of Yaromil, and I can get them to fight each other, except that appears to have a 0% chance of succeeding, so, I am not going to do that one. I think the best one for me to do is find common ground. Hey, it managed to work. There's only a 40% chance of success, but hey, that was apparently enough. If I can create the Kingdom of Bohemia, that is not good, actually. Okay, so I have another son. This is very good. Now I have a backup son if something happens to the first one. And this one's intelligent. This one is actually better. Unfortunately, there's no way to have him come before Charles, which is annoying. I'm naming you after myself. Your name is going to be August, because you are intelligent. You are fitting of my name. You're too young to find someone good to marry, though, because there's not going to be anyone younger than you that's suitable. Okay. You don't have very much. Can I declare war on? I cannot, because I am in debt and I don't have a casus belli. Thank you. Unvar, can I declare war on you? You do not have anything. Again, no casus belli. I would fabricate a claim, so I think I should probably explain what everything does. So religious head can either do religious relations, which is kind of just your general, not doing anything else state. You can convert the faith into county, which is what I'm doing. I'm converting it, converting some of my counties from pagan faiths to Catholicism, because you want it to be united. And you can also fabricate claims, and that will give you a casus belli on some places. I can declare religious wars on a lot of places, which is why I have been able to without fabricating claims. However, that will run out once people start converting. So I will have to switch to this, but first I'm going to convert because I think that's more important, and I still can declare some religious wars. Then there's the Chancellor's duties. They can do foreign affairs. Again, that's the kind of default. They can do domestic affairs, which is the same thing, except instead of being abroad, it's just inside, so that'll improve your own subject's opinion of you instead of other people's opinion of you. And then finally, there's integrate title. This sounds really cool, but it takes so long. I never really try it, and basically what that does is it messes with the de jure stuff. And so basically de jure just means who should have this land. So if I click on what I have all of this. So I have enough of the de jure Kingdom of Bohemia to create the Kingdom of Bohemia. I do not have enough of the de jure Kingdom of High Chiefdom of Messenia to create the High Chiefdom of Messenia. And you can see that here where it says that I can create the Kingdom of Bohemia, except they don't actually have enough money for it. So that's just kind of what de jure is. And then if you go further, you can see that de jure also has kingdoms, and it also has empires. So right now I'm kind of right between Carpathia and the Southern Bosaic Empire. I'm probably going to end up forming one of those, hopefully, if everything goes to plan. You never know. So that's kind of what that does. But again, that just takes so long. Maybe I should do it, though. Who knows? And then there's your steward. You can either collect taxes, that'll increase the amount of money coming in. You can increase development, which will, basically, increasing development in the county gives you a whole lot of things. It decreases, like, building construction time. It makes everyone happier. The problem is that it's slow going, and you have to convert every county. There's no mass doing it. So I tend to convert culture and then go straight to development because that just takes a long time. But culture is usually more important because people are less likely to rebel that way. Then there's the Spy Master. He can either disrupt schemes, which will help protect you and your court. People trying to kill you. Then there's support scheme, which is if you are trying to do something, like if you're trying to have somebody off, you should probably click on this, and they'll modifier will go to you. And then finally, there's find secrets. That's good if you want to get a hook on something. And hooks are something for another time, but you can use them to like blackmail people and doing things for you, and just getting them to do what you want. And then finally, there's the marshal, and they can organize levies. Levies are pretty much your armies, and what you can use to go to war. Train commanders who will lead your armies, and their stats will help your army's efficacy. And then finally, there's increased control in county, and that's pretty much just halting rebellions, making sure that peasant rabbles don't happen. Like this is a peasant rabble. That's not great. See, these guys want independence. That is something that can help. So that's kind of the whole thing. I don't even remember why I went into the details on skills and council, but that's pretty much how it works. I've just declared war on you. See, I would be able to declare war on you again, except the thing is that I have a truce with you, and I'm in debt. Please stop. I know I'm in debt. I saunter between the market stalls of Brno, a heavy pouch tugging at my belt. How do I make this coin work for me? Really, a heavy pouch at -68? As I admire the wares of a local jeweler, exquisite filigree, a sound investment, King Charles of West Francia suddenly appears at my side. A word of advice, my lord? Have a look at the mason's workshop over there. Their wares may be simple, but their potential is great. Do you know anything about... Okay, you've got good stewardship. You know what? I think that I will do that. Oh, and it works, and now he's my friend. That's great. I mean, as you can see, West Francia is pretty big, so having you as my friend, and not just my ally for marriage, because I am married to her, aka his daughter. That's very useful, of course, but, you know, it's just great to have him as a friend, because what if my wife dies? You know, she will die, eventually. That will always happen. As soon as you like somebody, they die. That's kind the hell this game works. Okay, I'm just gonna get rid of these notifications off to the side. They're usually not pretty important, and the headlight's all you need. I will ask for more gold, and yeah. He will accept, so let's just do that. Great, he accepted, and why am I losing money now? I don't get it. Oh, probably, oh, right. So I forgot that, they have to replenish, because, you know, a lot of them died. So while they're replenishing, they're gonna sap money from here. And then it's gonna, you know, have to refill, and then once it refills, it's gonna have to sap money again until they are filled. And once they're filled, then I should actually be able to acquire something. That's, just something it took me a while to learn that, because it's a little tricky to figure out. Ooh, okay, well that's a victory. I will take it. I can diagnose. I can set a, guardian for my kids. The reason that you'd like to, set guardians is that you can train them to think the way that you want them to think. For example, I have the ability to change their traits when certain things pop up. And that's, you know, great, because sometimes you don't want someone who's gonna be, like, gluttonous or even generous. Generous is bad because then you'll spend a lot of money. Feetbold has devoted his life to God. Seems despite the negotiation and careful planning, he will never marry Philippa. Oh, it's okay, I can find a new. I can find you a new husband. How about you? You're a good husband. Never mind the fact that he's much older. Anyway, with wards, you can only have 2 at one time. So as soon as she gets old enough, in 2 years, I'm gonna educate Prince Charles because he's my heir, and that's really important. And actually, you know what? I think it's time for you to be set. There we go. Okay, you know what? You're strong. Is there anyone better? The answer is probably no. The answer is no. So let's just go with you. You're strong, and that's a good thing to do. And my wife is pregnant again. That's great. At this point, I kind of don't want it to be a son. But, I mean, we'll take what is. Okay, so she's gonna end up deceitful. That's fine by me. If you can lie and cheat and steal, I do not care. Wow, okay, a lot of people want independence. Oh, my wife had a miscarriage. That's sad. Again, don't really care right now. I only care if it's... don't have a lot of kids, but I've got plenty. I've got 6 children. I can stand to lose a few, honestly. Okay, you want to ransom, that's fine. And let me just... I have no other prisoners, that's pretty cool. With her coming of age, my tuition of Pratilla is at an end. With sufficient tutelage, even a child that has displayed little natural inclination towards scholarship, such as Pratilla, can come to truly understand any subject. As an avid learner, she has become quite the purveyor of knowledge and has proven herself fully capable of structuring advanced theoretical and theological arguments. Alright, so she got a pretty good trait. Let me just take a quick second to explain the way the traits work. It's a skill trait. So as you can see, I've got 3 stars fortune teller. So again, with the skills that I mentioned, diplomacy, martial, stewardship, intrigue, and learning, those each have like an education trait. So if I go to you, I can see that she is studying learning. And I can also change that, but I'm not going to because it suits her. And basically what that'll do is it'll end up giving you a trait like this. So she chose learning, so she's got this trait. And they range from 1 star to 4 stars, each of them giving you more experience in the perks section, and a little more skill here. So she's got a +6 to learning and a 30% more skill gain in the perk category. So that's just kind of how that works. It's a simple overview right there. And that's pretty much it for skills and learning traits. So that means I can now educate Charles, which is great, because I want to influence the way he's going to grow up. Because he is, if everything goes right, he will be my heir. He will inherit the throne. And, okay, let's just see. Son. Let's name you Magnus. That's a good name. Basically, the way this game works is once you die, you become the next person in line. And I kind of talked about this last video, except I didn't really go into the details of how it works. Basically, you die and then you immediately continue as the next person. So once he dies, it doesn't matter how old he is, I'm going to be playing as Prince Charles. And that's literally how it's going to be. This screen that I get right here where it says this is you, that's going to be Prince Charles. So it's really not too difficult. Alright. peasant war. Let's go. You really should not be hard to beat because you are peasants. And nobody likes you. You don't matter either. Peasants pretty much serve to do nothing except annoy you. So, that was quick. And it is over as quickly as it began. And I can't disband my troops for some strange reason. Okay, there we go. Now I can disband them, and that's great. And I'm just gonna quickly go ahead. Great, now I've finished the skill tree, and I've gained a special trait, and that one is Architect, and that basically means that my stewardship gets increased, which will increase the land, and I'll get some bonuses that you can see right there. Overall, pretty darn good. I'm just gonna quickly go ahead and release you from prison for a favor as a ransom, and that's what I'm gonna call it today. So I hope you enjoyed. Please like, subscribe, leave a comment, whatever you want to do, and I'll see you next time.